Alright, welcome to my channel. My name is Brian Robbins. I play poker. Let's see, this is 50 cent and $1 pot limit Omaha cash tables on America's Card Room. So, this is like the first few stages of my session. I have a pretty nice hand that's even more nice because it's on the button. And so I'm going to pot bet after 3 people have been. And my internet connection goes down for just a moment, so bear with me here for a second. And there we go. So it's action's on me. I flop a very nice flop, a gut shot and an open-ended, and it would be hard for somebody to put me on that hand if I were to hit because of my pop bet pre-flop, I feel. And I pop bet and he calls and I turn the straight. Not the nuts, but I do not feel he has 6-4 at all in this spot. I pop bet, he calls. River, worst river I could have seen. Pretty much, yeah, I would say it's the worst river. And so, I only have 11 behind, so I opt to call. I'm already ready, as you can see. I'm ready to go buy some more chips. And he has the flush. He had a gut shot for the 6 and a backdoor diamond draw on the flop with a pair of aces. And he hits the backdoor flush. And so that's how my poker session started. And so continuing on. I pop bet on the button with a very nice hand and hit an incredible flop here. I can hit a 10, king or queen, or a spade for the nuts, and he folds. Okay. I actually decided to pot bet here. And he goes all in and I call, I have to call at this point. He's just got the pair of kings. I hit the really bad turn and lose the pot. Let me just pause it here just for a second. I guess my reasoning behind that bet was, well, here, I'll tell you what. It was a pretty bad play all in all. But I will say that I came to the tables rusty. I haven't played for like a week and a half. I've just been busy with other things. And so you will see a bit of rust that I shake off as I start this session. Here I threw the bet out there just because there was the opportunity there. They gave me the opportunity, and so I threw the bet out there. And as you can tell, I'm losing a bit of money here. That was 2 buy-ins and change, like 2.5 buy-ins, over 2.5 buy-ins. And so at this point, I am shaking off the rust. We'll put it like that. At this point, I'm shaking off the rust. I'm playing like a donk. I'm playing like a fish, but, what can you do? The whole time, though, I will say this. I am very, 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 very good at making comebacks. I am very good at making comebacks, as you shall see later on. I opt to just check that hand. So you got a pair of queens with queen high flush draw. Not really that great of a hand. It's definitely playable. I just played very aggressively on pot limit Omaha. I like to keep people guessing and just to keep. I like to get a lot of action so I get paid for my big hands. And so he raises me, and I can't do much there. I would assume he had the ace with the flush draw, something like that, or some big draw with a pair. And my hand was just, I didn't really have much to draw into.
And that's another thing about pot limit Omaha. Um, just in case you're very new, you have to use 2 cards from your hand and 3 cards on the board. So if there are 4 diamonds on the board and you have the ace of diamonds in your hand, you do not have a flush. Okay. That was a halfway decent flop. The thing is I have no backdoor draws. I'm talking about the 8-10 Jack 3. I flopped a pair with a gut shot straight draw for the nuts. And on the top left table, I decided to go all in on a bluff. I feel like there's a lot of hands that are not the nuts that he would have, but he had the nuts, and so there goes another buy-in. And so right now I'm getting my head back on straight, you know what I mean? Like, right now I'm starting to breathe a little more, I'm starting to take it a little bit easier. I know that I can make this comeback, and I know that it can be easy. I can even be up in like 2 or the next 3 hands. And so it's not really affecting my play incredibly, but I will say the first beat I took has affected my overall play a little bit here. Definitely that open-ended straight draw with the 9-10 on the Jack-8 board into the guy that popped that into me. But as we'll see, I get my momentum back, and I'm able to make some plays. And so that was a great flop on this table. I flopped a gut shot for the nuts, a flush draw, a pair, and I hit 2 pair on the turn. So this is a pot bet here. If he would push me all in there, I would call that. I have a very strong hand going into the river, and just because of my stack size, I have like 80 something behind. So I got pocket 9s. This guy he kept min betting. I almost folded right there. I was like, why not? I hit a great turn here. This makes my hand a lot more appealing. And so he bets $1 again. I just call. The river, like, alright, it probably didn't change much. If you had the straight, you had it on the flop with 6-4. 3 didn't change anything. Once he had pocket 3s, but I had a 3 as well. On this other one, on the bottom right, I hit a set on the turn, so I'm like, what? My hand turned into like nothing, no draw, to like a set. That was pretty cool. And I call his like $2 and change bet on the top left, and he had some draws, and my hand stayed clean. So that was a little baby pot, and I'm gonna edit this just to keep this from going on too long. So hold on, bear with me here. This is my first video, by the way. So bear with me, please. Well, as I try to figure out how to edit this, I guess I'll just do some more commentary. I like to play a lot of hands, and when people re-raise me, as long as I can make a position on it, as long as like it's not a horrible spot, I usually will call. And so, in this top left one, there's a raise and a call and a big pot bet pre-flop. So there's a lot in this pot, and I see a flush draw. I only have like 90 back. There's like freaking 85 in the pot, and so I'm like, I'm gonna make a play at it. So I pop that, and the guy who calls me has a lower flush draw, no pair. I haven't beat 10 high. He hits the 7 on the river. That one kind of, is like a. That one hurt me a little bit. Let's just say that. That one hurt me just a little bit. That hurt me. You can see me putting "wow" in all caps. I do not normally talk on the tables, but that was my one exception. And I go to buy in more chips. Fucking A. And so this is a good hand. Pocket queens with ace high, flush draw, and a little 7. Just to back it up, I could flop quad 7s with that 7, you never know. Alright, and that was a pretty solid flop for this top left table. I have the overpair and a king high flush draw on a relatively dry board. After he calls me there, I'm all in. I just have 22 bucks. You figure that he has a 2, but he hit the 4 as well, so my outs are limited to the 10. And so that will be me buying back in. And this is a very nice hand. I like this hand. It's very well connected, and I have a flush draw as well to boot. So, yeah. I pop that in the top left-hand table with the 8, 9, 10 suited and the queen. A lot of good flops that hand can hit. And that turned out to be not one of them. So I check back. And I check back. Sometimes I would bet that flop, but this guy I'm playing against, he's called literally everything I've done, and so it's like, it's just 760 in the pot. It's just not worth it for me at this point. So I hit a pretty nice flop on the bottom right-hand table. I had top pair, top kicker with a backdoor flush draw, and the turn was a very good turn for me here. I'm not exactly sure if I bet high. Yeah, I guess I bet half the pot here. The turn was a very good turn for me. And the river drops, okay. So I still think I'm ahead here. If that 8 didn't change anything, unless he had just a raw 8 with no ace on it, and if he had aces and 8s, then he would already have me beat, and he would play that hand much more aggressively. And so I won that hand on the check down. Starting to pick up a little momentum on the bottom right-hand table. As you recall, I told you I play. I don't just fucking give up my bets, when I'm betting, You're hard pressed to get me off a hand easily. It's in Parliament, Omaha, man. I see 4 cards and I kind of go